Life is full of obstacles that can make us feel small, powerless, and discouraged. There are moments when even the strongest among us feel like giving up, questioning the value of our efforts and doubting if our lives hold any true meaning. Have you ever felt so weighed down by life that you wanted to quit? These feelings are familiar to many of us and are often the toughest to face alone. But today, we're going to look at this challenge through a Buddhist perspective. Do not give up. In Buddhism, resilience is key. The journey to discover our inner strength isn't about avoiding obstacles but rather learning how to face them head-on. Using patience, understanding, and courage, we'll explore this theme through the story of a young girl caught in a cycle of discouragement. Exams are looming, the stress is overwhelming, and she feels completely lost. But as she learns, she is far from alone. Each of us can find a path forward when we tap into our deepest reserves of strength and compassion. Today's lesson is a reminder that no matter what trials lie ahead, we can find inspiration and strength within ourselves. This journey isn't just about perseverance. It's about understanding who we are and what we are capable of. Let's take this path together and discover how. With the right mindset and inner strength, we can overcome anything. Imagine that quiet, early morning moment. The world is still, and you're safe under the warmth of your blankets. It's so easy to close your eyes and let the day slip by. The thought, just 5 more minutes, feels harmless, like a small indulgence. But this single thought can be the start of a slippery slope. From those 5 minutes comes another 5, then 10, and suddenly, the day begins to slip away. In Buddhism, the Buddha teaches us that doing the things that truly enrich our lives takes strength. It's easy to do what is wrong, he says, but hard to do what is right. And this doesn't just apply to big choices. Every time we choose to sleep in a little longer, skip an important task, or delay our dreams, we're avoiding what could genuinely make us happy in the long run. To wake up early, to sit down and study, to get started on a goal, all of these actions require a deep resolve that can be hard to summon. Story example: a student's journey to overcome laziness. Meet Tuan, a young man with high hopes and ambitions. Like so many, he dreams of a bright future, built through hard work and dedication. But every morning, he faces a familiar battle: the struggle to get out of bed. Tuan knows he has a long day of study ahead, yet the pull of sleep is so strong. Just 5 more minutes, he tells himself. But those 5 minutes stretch into half an hour, sometimes even longer. He wakes up feeling guilty and disappointed, berating himself for the wasted time. One morning, Tuan had an epiphany. He realized that these small, daily decisions were shaping his life, one choice at a time. So he set a goal: no more 5 more minutes. The next time he felt that urge, he told himself, "This is my chance to strengthen my willpower, to take control, to stay on track." He tried the Pomodoro technique: short, focused study periods followed by small breaks. These 20-minute intervals were manageable and helped him build his concentration over time. Slowly, Tuan's mornings transformed. After just 3 weeks, getting up early and starting his day was no longer a battle but a habit. What once felt impossible now flowed naturally into his routine. Lesson from the story: Tuan's journey shows us that overcoming laziness is not a one-time decision but a continuous act of courage. Sometimes, all it takes is the resolve to overcome those 5 minutes of procrastination to kickstart an entire day. And as we repeat these small victories daily, they turn into habits, eventually reshaping our lives. This story reminds us that choosing the harder path in small moments is an act of self-love, a gift to our future selves. Each time we get up early, push through a task, or resist the urge to procrastinate, we're investing in a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. Exams are coming up, and you can feel the pressure mounting. The endless pages of notes, the stacks of books, the ticking clock, it all becomes overwhelming. The weight of what needs to be done feels so heavy that you almost feel paralyzed. This feeling of panic is something almost every student knows too well. And if we let it consume us, It can derail even the most committed of us. Story example: how Minh found calmness and focus. This was Minh's reality as he prepared for his final exams. A diligent student, Minh had always been dedicated. But now, with exams approaching, he felt trapped by the enormity of it all. Each time he sat down to study, the sheer amount of material he had to cover made him feel like he was drowning. The thought of everything he didn't know became a haunting presence, clouding his mind and stealing his focus. Then, Minh decided to try something new. Instead of stressing about everything at once, he focused on one small goal at a time. He turned to the Pomodoro technique, just 20 minutes of focused study, followed by a short break. This small shift helped Minh gain a sense of control. Each completed 20-minute session became a small victory, a sign that he was making progress. Gradually, Minh's anxiety began to ease. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a mountain of study materials, he started to approach each topic one step at a time, finding satisfaction in each small accomplishment. This change in mindset and approach transformed his experience. When exam day arrived, he felt calm, prepared, and most importantly, confident in himself. Lesson from the story. Minh's story reminds us that in times of high stress, the secret to success lies in breaking things down into small, achievable steps. Anxiety often stems from focusing too far ahead, worrying about outcomes we can't control. But by staying present, focusing on the task at hand, and celebrating each little win, we can turn even the most daunting challenges into manageable goals. There comes a point in many of our lives when we look around and feel a gnawing emptiness. The things that once brought us joy seem distant, and we wonder what the point of it all is. This feeling of lost purpose can be deeply isolating, like drifting in a sea of uncertainty. Buddhism teaches that each life holds potential, that even in moments of doubt, there is always meaning to be found. Story example: the meaning of living with purpose. Picture living for something greater than yourself. Imagine that as a young student, your efforts in studying and working hard bring joy to the people who care about you, your family, your friends, your community. Each step you take forward becomes not only your success but theirs as well. Linh is a young girl who, like many, felt disconnected from any real purpose. She struggled with motivation, feeling that her studies were just a burden with little reward. But one day, a simple realization changed everything. She saw how much her parents had sacrificed for her, how much they cared and believed in her potential. For the first time, Linh understood that her studies were not just about her, but also about honoring the people who loved her unconditionally. This change in perspective gave her a newfound sense of purpose. Studying was no longer a chore. It was an act of love, a way of giving back to those who had given her so much. Her life, once filled with doubt and lethargy, became vibrant with purpose and meaning. Through this shift, Linh found a deeper drive that helped her face each challenge with resilience. Lesson from the story. Linh's story teaches us that life's value often extends beyond ourselves. When we feel lost or disconnected, reflecting on the love and support of those around us can rekindle a sense of purpose. Living with the awareness that our actions affect others reminds us that we are never truly alone. And by dedicating our efforts not only to ourselves but also to those who believe in us, we find a motivation that can withstand even the hardest of times. Each of these sections speaks to the resilience, courage, and commitment that can transform our lives. Through the stories of Tuan, Minh, and Linh, we see that overcoming procrastination, managing stress, and finding purpose are not just tasks, they are acts of strength, love, and self-discovery. These stories remind us that every choice we make, no matter how small, shapes the life we lead and the legacy we leave behind. Life's journey will always present challenges, and it's natural to feel worn out, frustrated, or even lost at times. But remember, each of these obstacles is a stepping stone, a chance to grow stronger and gain wisdom. When you feel like giving up, think of those who support and believe in you, those who would be inspired by your resilience. Keep pushing forward, not only for yourself but also for those who love you and look to you for strength. Never give up, because this life, your life, is a unique and precious gift. You hold the power to transform your struggles into a story of growth and courage. Let that story be one worth telling, and let it inspire those around you. You have what it takes to overcome, and every step forward will reveal more of the strength that lies within you.